What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I do my 10,000 steps this morning. And it is cold in the great state of Michigan. You guys see, I got the got the beanie on with the ball on the top. It's that type of cool out here this morning. But I wanted to get out here early and connect with y'all because it's gonna be a busy day. It's Saturday, and I'm gonna be at UMaCon later on. And I know what y'all thinking. You're probably thinking, "Oh, y'all aren't gonna hear from me much today as a result of it." No, that is absolutely not true. Y'all gonna hear from me throughout the day. I'm gonna connect with y'all all throughout the day because as fun of an event as it is, I don't want to only just be focusing on that. I want to connect with you guys often as well. So shout out to you guys, my subscribers, new and old. You know, this rise to 5,000 is only possible because of you guys joining along for the ride with me. So thank you. And let's get into this topic, man. You guys see Cardi B. She was at the rally that just happened for Kamala, and it was a exposing sort of thing. They didn't expect to get exposed, but they did. So how did they get exposed? Well, if you were paying attention, you saw Cardi B's teleprompter. It didn't work. It wasn't working. And so she kind of stood up there for a while. It seemed like an eternity, man. It might have been like, I don't know, a minute, possibly 2 or close to 2 minutes of just awkwardness because she had no idea what the hell to say up there. And why did she have no idea what to say up there? Because these weren't her own words. All right. If you don't know your speech, it's because you didn't write it. If you can only perform your speech if it's on a teleprompter, it's because you didn't write it. Somebody came up there finally with a phone for her to read off of her speech. And this was unintentionally exposing them for exactly what they've been doing to these celebrities. These celebrities, this is what they've been doing, just reading a speech. They're just mouthpieces. You know, she got up there, and mind you, this is a woman who over the last couple years has been a very vocal critic of the inflation that's been happening under the Biden-Harris administration. She's also been a very vocal critic about how they've been funding 2 wars when America is going to hell in a handbasket. And now she's up there like a puppet, just a paid mouthpiece, reading literally a script of stuff. And you can tell she didn't write this herself because she's fumbling over words and stuff and having to repeat things. These are just things that wouldn't happen if these are your own words. If these are words you sit down with a pen and paper and you wrote yourself, you know what's on there. Even if you may not have memorized it completely and actually need to reference, some sort of guide, you know what's coming because you know the order that you composed your speech. You know the way that your thoughts rolled out. So this was something that she's never seen before, and you can tell she's just standing up there reading. So she claims she was not going to vote in this election until Kamala entered the race. Y'all don't really believe that, right? She was not going to vote until Kamala entered the race. It's because Kamala is running that she has decided that she's going to vote. And she believes everything that Kamala is saying. Again, this is a woman who has been very critical of the Biden-Harris administration. And now she's up there. And it just got me wondering, what do they have on her? Because I'm sure you guys have seen the meme that's going around that shows Diddy with a bunch of different, celebrities and influencers. And all of those people just conveniently voted for Kamala. So I'm sure you guys have seen that meme was going around like crazy. I came across that meme multiple times yesterday. People were sending it to me when I was on YouTube. You know, people had it showing it in their videos. So it's out there, and it's really funny how that's such a coincidence. Now, I don't know if there's no relation. I don't know. I'm not going to put the conspiracy theorist hat on, but it is a hell of a coincidence that all those people grinning with Diddy happen to also be people who are backing up Kamala Harris, including people who just recently came out like LeBron James. You guys know, I like LeBron James. You guys have heard me talk about how I like what him and his son are doing, even though it seems to not be, a super popular thing with him getting his son in. I'm like, I actually really do like it. But, like or not, when somebody on some BS, I'm going to call it out. And this whole thing with supporting Kamala, for many of these people, it just seemed like BS. It seems like they have something over them, and they are using this to try to drum up votes. And it's also amazing to me, all of the shaming tactics. Like, not only has the shaming not worked, but they continue to double and triple down on it and quadruple down on it even. Tim Walz called Elon Musk a homosexual, okay? He called him gay. That's not cool. I mean, you're supposed to be leftists. You're supposed to be allies, right? You can't. And I've heard people of the alphabet community say this themselves. They generally don't like when you try to use their sexuality as a slur against someone. They don't like that. They don't believe that that's being an ally. So him saying that, you had Biden calling, the 80 million voters who supported Trump basically garbage, or something to that effect. It may be a little out of context. But I mean, that just feels like the gist of what the message was. Because, I mean, he did say this. He said the garbage was the people who support him. Well, 80 million people did vote for him. So, one would draw the conclusion that that's what he means. Maybe that isn't what he means, but he didn't really show any interest or desire to try to clear that up at all. So you have that. You have what was it? Mark Cuban basically calling women who vote for Trump stupid. Again, man, I always find it interesting the way the left is the main ones who always preach inclusiveness, inclusivity, who always preach tolerance, accepting people for who they are, letting people live their life. They preach that, but seldomly practice it. It only works. They play fast and loose with that rule. It only works if you're a part of their group. You can't be on the other side and do these things, even though they claim that this is what they want. They condemn shaming until it's convenient for them to apply it. All right. When they can employ any type of shaming tactic, I notice that they never pass up an opportunity to do so. So, I mean, it's just all this hypocritical stuff. And you guys, don't be fooled, okay? It's a lot of people out here. I see from this election cycle, there's a lot of super gullible folk out here. I mean, I don't know how these people are functioning adults. The level of gullible is just insane. Don't think for a second that all these celebrities that are coming out supporting Kamala is a coincidence. And don't think for a second that Cardi B, in Situation Critical, they had to come out and hand her the script on the phone, that is a isolated incident. That's what they all do. Except when it comes to the other celebrities, the teleprompter works. They need to get a new teleprompter or fire somebody who doesn't make sure that it's working or not, because too often during their events has the teleprompter went AWOL, which I find it funny. Even the teleprompter is uncooperative. Even the teleprompter can tell they on some BS. But usually the teleprompter works. So when the celebrity gets up there on stage, they're able to read the script without incident. But that didn't happen in the case of Cardi B. And it's funny because she was the worst possible person for this to happen to. If it was somebody who was a bit more articulate, just, a bit more quick-witted, it wouldn't have been as bad. But because it was somebody who, she looked like she was up there being held hostage, man. It was so freaking awkward. And because it was her that it happened to, she was totally unprepared. She has no idea how to pivot. She's not quick-witted and clever enough. She doesn't know how to take an awkward situation and turn it into funny, into, a good moment. It just became internet infamy. So don't be fooled, y'all, man. These people, they're not on your side. They never have been. Remember, Cardi B is rich. And even she was complaining about inflation. And this wasn't very long ago. This was like, a couple years ago? So we were smack dab in the middle of the Biden-Harris administration, and she was already complaining about inflation, and inflation hadn't even reached critical mass yet. She was saying that y'all who don't have money, if y'all ever did get money, I could tell how y'all would go broke because y'all don't care about prices. And I thought it was very refreshing that someone with money was saying things like this, because she's right. You have people who are poor, and the way they spend keeps them poor. And she like, if y'all were to get money, y'all would just end up broke again because y'all don't, you're not, basically, you're not frugal enough. And she made at least two different videos where she was complaining. And you guys can easily find this. If you haven't seen it already, I recommend you go looking for it. You can easily find these. Let me back up so they can walk their dogs. You guys can easily find this, okay? If you haven't seen it, go look this stuff up. I'm not kidding around. Like, there's videos that aren't hard to find at all. Two in particular, where she is complaining about the current administration, about how we're funding these stupid wars, but cutting budget in New York and whatnot, and how the inflation is out of control. Now you skip forward to now, and they look, they seemingly got her up there at gunpoint. That it did such a 180, such a flip-flop, man. Don't nobody flop that extreme unless somebody got something on them. I'm telling y'all, I don't know what it is, but we have seen that it's been people who we wouldn't have thought would flip, like Leo DiCaprio, that have flipped. They're not doing this because they just truly believe in Kamala. Come on now. No, they're doing this because something they don't want to be uncovered. All right, y'all, man. As I said, I'm not going to disappear on y'all today, even though I'm going to be at UMaCon. Y'all going to hear from me throughout the day. I'm going to check in with y'all all throughout the day. Now, I may do some videos at UMaCon. And if I'm wearing something different, the reason why it is because these are my workout clothes. I'm not about to go to UMaCon like this, Yeah, I know. UMaCon's a bit of a nerd event. I know. I don't really tap into the nerd stuff too much anymore, but I still can appreciate it. I'm actually going there because of my sons. My sons want to go. So, they want me to go along with them. How can I refuse? So, shout out to being a dad, man. You gotta be there for your boys and stuff. And it's gonna be a fun time for us all. So I'm glad I'm going. But I'm gonna catch up to y'all later, man. Peace.